Test, test. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Wait, let
Yeah.
me grab headphones. Hold on. I'm gonna grab headphones. I'm gonna grab headphones. Oh fuck. Okay, I hope my audio is clear. I don't know where the hell my headphones are, but
Yeah, you're good. I could hear you, but I hear an
okay, perfect.
echo. You don't have headphones?
I'm trying to find. Hold on. I'm putting my phone on my computer on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. 1 second.
All right.
Um, okay, and then wait, where the? Oh my god. Oh fuck. I don't know what just happened. Wait, let me grab my headphones. Hold on.
All right.
Need to grab. Fuck. Hold on. I don't know where my head. Hold on. Definitely have.
As long as we don't have an echo, we're good.
Let me try. Maybe if I go, can you hear? Do you still hear the
I
echo
don't.
right
No,
now?
I don't hear an echo. I don't hear an echo
Okay,
right
I'll
now.
just sit closer. I'll sit closer to the computer so then it's not an echo. But this should be fun. A lot of
Yeah,
people.
it should.
I
Yeah, it
like it.
should be.
Yeah.
So what's up? How are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet finally in person. Face to face.
I
Put the
know. I
account next
know.
to face.
I've always hear you in the Knicks spaces, and you're doing your thing over there at Let's Talk Knicks. You're trying to grow your
Yeah,
page.
but yeah, I just want to transition to the YouTube. So hopefully we can like make this like a weekly thing or something, but that would be cool. But yeah,
Yeah, it would be cool. Like before the game or whatnot, or pre-game or post-game. That'd be
totally,
cool.
totally.
So yeah, let's just get started.
Are we live?
So yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Wait, hold on, let me tweet this out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
we're
me
live.
tweet it. Oh my god. I don't understand. I literally put my phone on do not disturb.
Um
Let me tweet it out. Hold on. Oh, I literally put my phone. Okay, I need to put my. I literally put my phone on do not disturb, and now it's not working. Hold on.
we're live. Yeah, just try to put it on vibrate or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know why. Okay, it seems like it's fine now. Okay, let me just tweet this out real quick. Um,
All right, I tweeted it.
okay,
So I'll tweet it out.
perfect. I'm putting it. Okay, we can just get started. I'm sure people will file in, but okay. What do we want to start talking about? I don't know. There's so much going on, so like it's hard to like understand what to talk about first. But
So yeah, let's just get right into it. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell went to the Cavs. Obviously, everybody knows that. When was the trade? On Wednesday?
yes, on Wednesday of last week, and when I tell you, I was shocked. I was shocked.
So yeah,
Actually
we can
shocked.
get both of our reactions to it.
Yeah.
When I first heard the news on my phone, I was pissed. I even texted you about it. Like I was like really upset. Like I didn't know what to think at first. Like I just went on Twitter and I just tweeted out a bunch of emotions that was running through my mind. And yeah, like some tweets I should take back, but that was just going through my head at the time. So yeah, I was shocked.
I
You went. Go
I
ahead.
definitely I definitely feel like that. Definitely, I think some of the tweets I definitely overreacted a tad. Some of my followers were not afraid to tell me that. I was just in shock that like we got the Cavaliers that they're out, and then all of a sudden they're back in because we signed RJ, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But
Yeah.
I actually was so shocked. I couldn't. But
Yeah, I was shocked too. And then at first I saw that he only went for three unprotected, and then the rest of the details came out. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell. So he's going to the Cavs, and then right after he got traded to the Cavs, the Knicks announced the RJ Barrett extension, literally like within like a 10-minute span. So that was a little coincidence. But
we saw the
I,
Leon statement. We saw the Leon statement. I was like, oh, like they're just announcing, you know. But then I think it's stupid, in my opinion. Like, you know, the trade's coming, but then you like, oh, like here's the RJ extension, but like here's a Woj bomb that he's going to actually Cleveland and not us. But I thought it was like weird timing. Obviously, I feel like they knew that something was happening because they announced it that day, and then they put out a Leon statement,
oh yeah, they
and then
knew. They definitely knew.
they knew. I think they knew that they
It
lost
was
out.
it wasn't a coincidence that it was literally announced within the next like 5 minutes. Um, I think they wanted to save face a little bit because I think they were so upset that Utah didn't come back to them, because there were reports out there that the Jazz and the Cavs, they just agreed and Utah didn't come back, circle back to the Knicks so they can match the offer, or give them a better offer. But yeah, I don't think it was a coincidence that it
I
was
don't think so
within.
either. I like at first thought that like maybe like the Knicks were found out through a tweet, but my whole thing with the Knicks right now is like I tweeted it out this morning. We don't have a clear direction, in my opinion. Like we're keeping all these bets right now as it stands,
Mhm.
and we have um we have RJ Barrett signed, obviously, but then you have players like Evan Fournier and you have players like Julius Randle. But then what are you doing with the young guys? It doesn't really make sense to me because what are you doing? Because now Grimes and Obi are not going to get more than 20 minutes a game. I don't see Obi getting more than 16 minutes a game as the roster currently is constructed. I don't know
Yeah,
what's going
I don't either. And that's the thing that I worry about too, is I actually agree with you. I don't think they have a plan, like a set plan. I think their plan switches from year to year. Like last year, they tried to contend. They signed Fournier, then they signed Kemba to that deal, and then it turned out to be a disaster. So they had to trade away Kemba and attach picks to him. And then this year, they don't pick in that. And what they had, the 11th pick. They traded away the 11th pick just to open up cap space for Jalen Brunson. So you think, okay, they want to compete, they want to win. They obviously don't want to, you know, play this 11th pick and see if he can grow into a starter, or maybe like an all-star. They don't want to do that. And then the Donovan Mitchell thing comes out, and everyone's like, oh, okay. So now we see their vision. They want to get Donovan Mitchell. They want to pair him with Jalen Brunson. They want to pair him with, they wanted to give away RJ Barrett, but yeah, they want to win, and then boom, they don't get him, and then they re-sign RJ Barrett. So yeah, I don't think they have I think every year their plan changes. I think they have a plan, but they're kind of going with the NBA and how the NBA cycles year after year. And I agree with you. I don't think they have a plan. And I saw that you got some pushback on that when you tweeted that.
Yeah, because people are like they have a direction, like they're playing the young guys, like but we still have Evan Fournier starting for our team, first of all. Evan Fournier is going to start on this team. It's just going to happen. If he's on this team, he's going to start. I don't see him. I know that, like, oh, they don't like the Evan Fournier Jalen Brunson pairing, but, like, you're paying him, like, starter money and you can't, sit him. I don't see a way that we actually sit Evan Fournier. I don't see it. We have Julius Randle. That's a whole other situation. My thing with the Knicks is, like, I wanted to trade. If you're not going to let the young guys have an opportunity here, let them go get an opportunity somewhere else. That's my whole thing is like, Obi could have flourished in Utah. Grimes could have flourished in Utah, but we kept on to them. But we're in my opinion, we're kind of like hypothetically strangling them because Obi's not getting six. Like if people are like, oh, in my comments, like, oh, he'll
Do you
get.
think you
Well,
think he'll get over 20 minutes a game, Obi?
no, no, I don't think so. I really.
I don't either. But then you got Mark Berman saying that Thibs regrets not playing him, over 20 minutes a game last year. But
Yes, he saw what he could do at the end of the season. He was like, oh, maybe you can actually ball out. Maybe you can. He was a top 10. He was a lottery pick. He was a top 10 pick. He was player of the year in college. Like the guy can obviously ball. We all know that. But I think at the same time, it's like you have Julius Randle. I really want to trade Julius. I don't think it will happen.
who doesn't want to trade Julius? I feel like Julius is like I feel like is like now if the Knicks trade Julius, like they'll start to gain hope back, throughout the fan base.
I think that, and like when I tweeted, I was like, maybe you'll get some. I was joking, but obviously on Twitter you can't read tone, and I was joking. I was like, oh, maybe you'll get some fans back if you you'll get fans back if you trade back if you trade Julius Randle. But like at the same time, like they're like, if you left because Julius, like that wasn't my point. I'm showing that like it will be in my eyes right now. Someone asked me in my DMs to answer today that we'll probably bring up that what's your grade for the off season? I give it a B. Like it's not amazing, it's not bad, it's just in the middle. Like we got a point guard, it's great, but at the same time, I think if you're gonna have Obi here and you really want to see what he can do, you need to trade away Julius Randle, and I understand that we need to get value for him. I agree. Maybe a first round pick from the Lakers is what we get for him. But at the same time,
Who
I don't see a team where you can successfully run Julius Randle and Obi Toppin.
Yeah. I mean, who my question to you would be who out of Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes would you rather see start and gain significant minutes in the starting lineup between
I
both of them?
think I think Quentin Grimes is ready now. I think
Yeah, I
he's
do
ready.
too. I think
I think
Grimes is
he's
ready.
ready. I think he's ready. He's ready. I don't know if Obi is completely ready with his confidence. I just don't think I want him to come off the bench, maybe like a sixth or seventh man, but like be early off the bench.
The thing about Obi is I think now that we have Brunson, like a legit point guard, I feel like him starting would help him like in the pick and rolls and the fast breaks. And Obi, when Rose was healthy, Obi thrived with Rose because he was up tempo. He was an up tempo point guard. He ran the fast breaks. So that's what Obi was missing. But he showed that because later in the season he played with Quickly a lot, right? So
He
he
did.
showed
He played a lot with like Derrick Rose and Emmanuel quickly, but at the same time, I wanted to see how he could play with someone like this idea of like trying to play Julius Randle and Obi Toppin together. I don't think will work. I just don't think it will work. I don't think you can play both at the same time because you have Julius at the four, and I guess you put Obi at the three, but you also want to like it just doesn't. I don't think they're gonna
yeah.
mesh well together.
I don't
They
I don't
play
I don't think
completely different.
I don't think it'll work either. And I think, there's a month left until training camp. Probably a little less than that until media day.
45
I
days. 45 days.
45 days.
Yes.
I think in a perfect world they want to get rid of Randall and Evan Fournier now that they missed out on Donovan Mitchell. And there was a 3-team trade that was out there. What was it? Randall to Charlotte
Yeah,
or
Randall to Charlotte. Someone was saying like Terry Rozier. I'm like, where are we getting Terry? Like these trades, sometimes
or
I'm like
where was Fournier going to the Lakers
Fournier to the
or
Lakers.
and then
I have it
Westbrook to
on
the
my
Knicks?
Westbrook to the Knicks, but like,
But then they
and
would
then you're
attach
getting
like a first
picks.
round pick.
Yeah, it would be like a first round pick with Westbrook, and like it'd probably be the Lakers 2027 first round pick. Um,
But then if
I
you're
don't think
doing that, you're committing to rebuilding if you're doing that, in my opinion. Because you're trading away one semi bad contract in order to get a first round pick from the Lakers. So if you're doing that, I think that you're committing to like, okay, we want to build through the draft this time. We want to do it right.
I think that, but like also, I don't really think we're rebuilding because we just brought in our first starting point guard since
But
2013.
that's the thing. That's what goes back to the plan. Like it's like all
You
over
don't
the place.
know. You
It's
don't
so
know. No
it's
one
all
knows.
over the place.
I don't even think Leon Rose knows his plan. I really don't believe that. Like, oh, there's a plan, like we're gonna commit to young development. If you're committing to young development, why are there still vets in front of our in front of our draft picks? I also disagree that we should have drafted in this year's draft. I really do believe that. I think it was so dumb in my opinion. Looking back, like I get you wanted to get all these picks to trade, but like you should have known that if you're trying to get an all-star, you're gonna have to give to get, and you're gonna have to let go of Obi. You are going to. And
Either
any all-star you want on the market right now, that let's say tomorrow SGA commits saying, oh, I want to get out of OKC, I don't like this anymore. You're giving up Obi. That's the first name they're asking for.
yeah,
So it doesn't make sense.
either they should have drafted or they should have got more for that pick, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because you know who went to who got drafted at 11 and they traded him to Detroit.
Usman Dieng.
Okay, there was a center, right? He a center?
So I think he's like a small forward, kind of power forward. I don't know if he's a complete center, but the whole controversy during the draft was that Detroit, we're really going back, but like Jaden Ivey, obviously the Knicks loved. They
Yeah,
wanted him
they wanted
so bad.
Ivy.
They really wanted Ivy so bad. And then what happened was Detroit's pick, what was it? Who had the third pick? Sorry. It wasn't Detroit. It was
The Kings, I think. Was it the
Kings, yes, and
Kings?
they took Keegan Murray. I'm really going back in my memory, but the Kings, they didn't. I thought what they should have done was traded up to 7 with Portland. I know it's very complicated, but I would have done it because I wanted Jaden Ivey. Trade with 7 for Portland, and then Portland goes back to 11. They still will probably get Shaedon Sharpe probably on that pick,
Yeah,
because there's just so many risks with him, and I don't think anyone on that team, on the Pelicans or any teams before him, wanted him. You trade with Portland, you have that 7 pick, and then you trade with Sacramento because I think that Keegan was going to fall anyway, but they took him at
yeah,
4. He looks great so far, but I think missing out on
yeah.
Jaden
He looks
Ivey,
good.
he looks really good, but I I'm I don't. And then this whole thing with like, because a Detroit Pistons like reporter on Twitter was like, oh, like the Knicks got their guy, and I was like, what? Like the
Oh
whole
yeah, that's
draft
when
was so
everyone was going
confusing.
crazy. Everyone was like,
Everyone was like, did we
Jaden
get him?
Ivey
Did we
to the
get him? And I was
Knicks.
like,
Yeah,
I think we got him. I did. I went crazy, which was a mistake on my part. I don't know why I did that. That's definitely one of the mistakes of LTK I've made. But like,
yeah,
um, I think that also missing what we should have done was gone if you were gonna try and get an all-star in the offseason, you need to go full forward, and you can't do like you can't half do it. Like you were all interested. You had 2 months to get a deal done. And you
yeah,
were playing games with Danny Ainge and Slanik and Utah. Then you tried to get Lakers involved. They wouldn't give up picks. They wouldn't give up the 2027, 2029. I also like everyone's like, oh, we didn't want to give up picks. I really fault the front office for playing games. We had a package they liked.
for
They
who?
had
For
for Donovan Mitchell, they had 3
oh yeah,
picks,
yeah, 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 yeah,
RJ and
yeah.
IQ, but they also wanted Grimes, and the Knicks won't give up Grimes. They think
So
he's a like
the report
superstar.
that came out and Windhorst confirmed it. He said that the Knicks offered R.J. Barrett, was it quickly? Emmanuel
Quickly,
quickly,
yeah,
and he said they offered 2 unprotected
yeah,
first round picks and
yeah,
somebody else to make the money match.
yeah.
Would if you
Probably
were
Evan Fournier, probably.
if you're Utah and you compare that offer to the Cleveland offer, which one would you have picked?
And I'm not trying to be biased, but like RJ Barrett is going to be a good player. Like he's going to be an all-star. Like right now what you got Colin Sexton, who is like kind of here not there. Ochai,
He's
who
very
really,
injury. Colin Sexton's very injury prone, but when he's
yes,
on the floor, he's a solid point guard.
he's a solid.
He's gonna
He'll like for a rebuilding team, it's a good starting point guard. Like okay, but like
yeah, he's good. He's good.
look, Laurie marketing has been like
He's
all
been
these
passed
players.
around the league now.
He's been
Like
like he went to the Bulls. What other team has he
he
played
got
for?
drafted to the Bulls, and then they traded him to Cleveland, and now he's
Cleveland.
going to Utah. So this is his
He's
third
being
team.
passed around like Thanksgiving dinner. It's crazy. I
But
think
he's a pretty good player. Like he can shoot. He can he's a
oh,
stretch
he's
four.
good. Yeah, he's good, but I think
Yeah,
at the same time, like in my honest opinion, I would have taken RJ Barrett and I would have made him the centerpiece at the Utah Jazz organization. He would have been the replacement because right now you don't have a player on the Utah Jazz that is fully okay, maybe Colin Sexton a little bit, but like fully proved himself. RJ
Yeah.
Barrett, he finished the season averaging 20 points per game flat. Exactly at 20 points per game. I would have taken on Monday night, I would have taken the offer of RJ Barrett. I mean, that's just me as maybe I'm stupid, but I would have taken it.
Yeah, that's where I think the Knicks drew the line when Utah declined that trade with RJ. They were like, okay, so then we're gonna resign him and we're gonna move forward through our process. But look, it didn't happen. Um, and then they went and then they re-signed Barrett. Do you think that they wanted to re-sign Barrett, or do
No,
you think that
no. They
no?
didn't want to re-sign him until like at least October, in my opinion. And also, like, I have a couple people in my DMs saying, like, some valid sources, some others not, but like they were forced to do something. Like they lost,
But
they.
that gets me so frustrated.
I
Like
know, I know, I
you're
know.
forced to re-sign, this young promising player that's supposed to be an all-star, and just because they didn't get Donovan Mitchell, they don't want the tabloids or the media to go off on them. So okay, we're re-sign RJ Barrett. If you don't, they clearly wanted to trade him to
I
Utah.
think they wanted to trade RJ Barrett, but they also wanted to send a message to the Utah Jazz. The Knicks thought they had all the leverage in the world. Like we have the most picks, like no one else has. It can compete.
And look, to the
I
Knicks'
think they
credit,
got,
they did in the beginning. They did have all the leverage, but
but not towards the end.
I tweeted this like when they started talking. Like right now, they have all the leverage. But what happens when training camp approaches and other teams start getting involved? Then their leverage isn't. They don't have it anymore.
What I didn't
So
like is as much as this got dragged off, we started this in like right after the draft, so like May, June, and then now it's September. I didn't like that we were playing games too much, in my opinion. Like I understand Danny Ainge, like he demands a lot. He's not the best person you want to trade with. We make jokes on Twitter like he's like the person in your fantasy league you don't want to trade with. But at the same time, they what I found interesting is all this information about like Mitchell Robinson being offered after the trade went down. Woj started going off. I don't know why. It's so weird to me. Offering Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, 3 picks, and everyone's like, why didn't they take that? There's just a lot of games going on behind the
yeah,
scenes, I think. And I honestly, as much as Donovan Mitchell, like, oh, he wouldn't like, why do you want to make this trade? You're not going to be a top four in the seed in the East. It's not about that. It's about attracting a star here and finally having some star power. And as much as I think that RJ Barrett can be that, he hasn't shown that yet. And this whole like, oh, he's only 20, blah, blah. We're going to be saying when he's 30, oh, he's only 30 years old. Like, we need to stop this like age thing, in my opinion. It's so annoying
yeah.
to me. Like, I don't
I
care how
mean,
much there's people his age doing better things right now.
look, RJ is 22,
Yeah.
21 or 22.
Yeah.
Obviously last year his efficiency was down. He finished like his around the paint finishes weren't that great at all. But look, he still has room to improve. This is year 4 coming up. Um, in my opinion, he needs to strive to be an all-star. Like he needs to be an all-star for the Knicks. He needs to become that player that everyone thought he was going to be. And look, I think he can do it.
I
I
think
think
so
he
too.
still
I think so
has
too.
room. I want to see him with Brunson. I want to see what they can do, but that right now, it's hard to envision that with Julius Randle on the team still. With him dribbling, spinning, doing what Julius does, pissing people off every game. Um, but hey, if the Knicks, if they get back 2 years ago, Julius Randle, I think they could be a play-in team. But right now, like it's hard to envision that.
And you don't this year with the draft, it's going to be you got the Thompson twins, you got Victor Wembanyama, you got Scoot Henderson, you got Nick Smith, like you got all those some of those Duke players. I don't
Oh
remember their
yeah,
names.
this year's draft is
This year's
super
draft is
loaded.
crazy. Like it's really good, but I think you don't want to be that team that's like not in the playoffs, but not tanking, and you're
But
right in the
that's
middle.
that's what that's what they are right now. They're
But
they're
that's,
they're
in my opinion, that's really stupid. That's
they're
really
kind of
stupid.
they're kind of stuck in the mud because their cap space is all filled up. I mean, yeah, they have all these draft picks. They have, you know, promising RJ Barrett. In my opinion, these young players that you didn't include for Donovan Mitchell, they have so much pressure on them this year. If they
So
don't go, if they don't go out there and ball out and perform, and become the young players that you think they can become, I think somebody is going to get fired
I
by
think so
the end of
too.
next season.
I think so too. I think if let's just say Quentin Grimes just has an off season, Manuel Quickly's like good but not great. Obi Toppin's getting 15. Someone is getting fired. Like I don't care who it is, but like someone needs to like I don't also I think in some ways WWW World Wide West going to that playoff game, I think really pissed off some of the Utah Jazz members. And I know like it's very like theory and like this is all speculation, but I do think it played in like why are you like I feel like they kind of in some ways some of their actions this summer and throughout the year going to that playoff game should have never happened. You should have never went to that. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go with that was
they should
really
have never.
dumb. You're I get you want to see Jalen Brunson. You can watch it on TV. You knew what you were doing going in person. Um, I know they were looking at Jalen Brunson. We all know that. Okay, you saw him. Like it looked. I don't think the Mavs are mad anymore. I think it was more the Utah Jazz because they knew that Donovan Mitchell was not happy in Utah, and I think they knew they had to break it up.
Yeah,
Going to Utah was really stupid because everyone sees you. Your front court with Julius Randle. Like, what are you doing? And like Julius Randle's there laughing. You got World Wide West. I think in some ways when you have people in your organization such as a big name like Leon Rose, who was like president of CAA, and you have World
yeah,
Wide West, like other offices are sometimes intimidating by that because they have those player relationships. So when you like I think they were looking also at Donovan Mitchell because they really wanted to see him in person, but like watching, I'll never agree with going to the playoff game. I just think that's stupid. I think you're pissing off if you're trying to make it look you're trying to make a deal with someone. Don't piss them off because they're just going to be more rude. Like if you're, you know what I mean? It's just common sense, in my opinion.
it is. Hold on, I'm trying to. Somebody said the chat is disabled. I'm
Oh,
trying
really?
to. Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, where are all the questions, guys? Come on, bring her some
yeah.
questions.
I'm
Bring
trying
it
to
on to
figure
us.
this out. Sorry, this is
Oh,
our first time doing this stuff. Um, why is it saying live chat is disabled? Um,
someone just said we're on mute. I'm confused.
we're on mute. They can't hear us.
Yes, said we're on mute. And we need the chat. Is the chat not working?
It's saying it's disabled for some reason. Hold on.
Hold on. Guys, thank you for saying something. I feel like, oh, everyone's like lighting up my DMs right now. We can't hear you. Someone saying we streamed Utah YouTube for kids. I'm so confused what's going on
Oh
right
no, hold on.
now. Thank you guys for saying something. I literally we would have kept talking, but
All right, the chat should be working right now.
if you can put something in the chat, please do so we know that it's working. Are we really on YouTube for kids?
Bro, if we were on YouTube for kids, that's
Oh my.
no, because
We're
it
gonna do
says
multiple of these, so I don't know if someone could hear me, someone could hear us, that would be great.
let me join and see if I can hear on my phone.
I'm gonna try and join it off my phone too and see if I can hear anything. Can I wanna see if I can even, like, chat in it because I know people have questions for us, I know that. Oh, someone just sent a photo. We can hear it oh. My phone too and see if I can hear anything. Oh.
The sound is working on my end.
We're on YouTube for kids. Thank you, shout out, Nick's Jake. We can hear you guys, but you're on you can't chat with YouTube for kids. Brutus just yeah, thank you. We're on
All right,
YouTube for
ask him
kids.
what about now? Because I said no, it's not made for kids.
Okay, try it how about now? Jake or Brutus, can you guys type in the chat right now? Damn, what the heck happened?
They might have to re-enter to see if it works.
Okay, can you guys like leave the YouTube? I don't know how many people are on it right now. I have no idea how many people are on this right now, but can you guys leave and then come back and then see if the chat's working? And if you can put something in the chat, that'd be great. We'll go a little longer because we.
Oh, somebody said we good now.
Oh,
I got a
perfect. There
comment.
we go. Amazing. Okay, great. Thank you, OCD Shaggy. Shout out to you. I guess the chat
YouTube
was
for kids.
YouTube for kids. I'm gonna tweet that after YouTube
No,
for kids.
but it
You know.
said, "Is this video made for kids?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
they're not like
curse or
silly.
anything." So
Um, if you guys have any questions you want us to answer, I think between the two of us, we're covered Knicks every single day so far. So if you guys have questions you want us to like talk about in the show, what's up, Jake?
oh, there
If you
we
guys
go.
want us to
I was
talk about,
wondering why no comments were popping up. I was like, "What
yeah,
the
I was
hell?"
like, there's no way people are listening and not having anything to say.
Yeah,
Thank God, LOL, so frustrating. Yes, I agree, OCD. I was like looking, I was like talking, I was like, why are there no people asking questions? Like usually, like when I do these, they're like Nick fans get passionate about their
yeah.
talks. If
Let
you guys
me
have
retweet this.
any comments or any questions or anything that we've talked about so far, hopefully we weren't on mute too long. Um, we're still working on
Yeah,
someone like
sorry guys.
if you're talking,
This is my first
this is
time
our first
trying to run
one, so
this.
please don't like attack us. But if you like want to get involved with like producing our show or anything like that, please reach out to one of us. I know we have a couple people, but
Yeah, because
um,
clearly I don't know what I'm doing. So
look, I just got a link and I was like, I'm going on. Thunder. Oh, sorry, Jake, you have a thunderstorm. But guys, if you have anything to add to our conversation, if there's a topic you want us to talk about, we'll probably. Apparently, we're on mute for like 10 minutes. So, um, okay, people are lighting me up. Um, we literally have to trade Randall, Fournier, and Rose now. There's no other way this doesn't work. I agree with that, but at the same time, like we have to think realistically. Like we're not trading all three of them. Rose is gonna stay. Um, I think most likely the person to get moved is Fournier because they love Grimes. And I think
yeah,
everyone in the office can agree that they love Grimes. Do you think that? I think Fournier is the most likely to get moved. What about you? Yeah.
I do too. And I actually think Fournier has value around the league. You know, he shot really well last year. He set a record for the Knicks in 3 pointers made, if I'm corrected, right?
Yes, he did. He did.
Um, it's just that his defense, man, his defense is non-existent. You know, sometimes during the games, you're like, bro, move your feet, get in front of the guy. Come on, man. But I think his contract is tradable. But I think if you trade him, you're putting your all your chips on the table for Quentin Grimes. And I think Grimes is ready. You know, last year he played a lot last year. You know, fans they act like he really barely played. You remember he played a lot and then he started a few games and then he got hurt. You know, that's what really got his season. He turned his season around. His knee injury that he suffered.
I think
So
also the joke of like how he went off against the Celtics was hilarious because he would just go crazy against the Boston Celtics. But I really just want to move Fournier because I want to see Grimes start. If it was up to me and everyone always like put your GM hat, like who are you starting? I'm starting Brunson, I'm starting Grimes, I'm starting RJ, I'm starting Mitch. I'm starting Randall if he's still here and Mitch because you can't bench Randall. It's just not going to work. OCD Shaggy, Knicks need to pick a. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got them
yeah, I
on
just
screen.
put it in the chat.
Knicks
Next,
need to pick a
go ahead.
direction, try to win and develop all your young guys with so many young players. I don't think it's possible. I agree 1,000%, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to do both either, and that's what I think they're going to try to do if they don't move anybody. You
It's
know,
not going to work. You can't like. It's just not going to. We're going to be in the middle of the season. Everyone's going to be complaining why Ob isn't playing. Julius is going to have like an ejection or something. Like I don't even know.
Julius is gonna get mad whenever we win a game that he doesn't get the ball at the end of the game. He's gonna be mad and throw the ball like a little child.
Developing one or two young guys is fine, but 5 to 6 is too much. Yeah, but I don't think we have 5 to 6 guys. We really need to develop Obi. That's number one. We need to develop Grimes. I think IQ still needs to be developed.
Well, let's go through it.
Okay.
You have Obi, You have
Right. I think
Emmanuel
he's
Quick.
my number one priority of trying to develop, in
You
my
have
opinion.
Emmanuel. Yeah, you have Emmanuel quickly. You have Grimes, and RJ still needs to develop. He needs to develop efficiency. He needs to. I think RJ is going to be fine, so I shouldn't add him in that.
I'm not
But
worried about RJ. I think he'll get his touches this year. I hope he gets at least
yeah,
16 shots a game, at least, please.
yeah. So it's what is it? It's really only three guys that
Yeah,
need playing time. And I put out a TikTok about this. Like they need I want Obi Toppin to be playing 25 plus minutes a game. I want Quentin Grimes to be playing 30 minutes a game and I want him starting. And I want Emmanuel quickly to be that hybrid point guard, shooting guard off the bench, um, to give the Knicks a spark. If the first unit is not playing up to par, that's when you bring Quickly in. That's when you bring Obi in. They provide that spark, and I want Quickly to be playing over 25 minutes a game. But that's a lot to ask for. Tom Thibodeau. It's like I don't think he's gonna do that.
he's not. He's just not. Anyone who thinks that Obi Toppin's getting 25 minutes a game, set yourself now and don't let yourself get disappointed. It's not happening. It's just not. I'm sorry. I hate to put you down, but it's just not happening. Obi Toppin's going to get max 17.
Max 17.
Max.
I
I
think
know.
the torches. I think the torches would come out. I tweeted. What did I tweet a few days ago? I got a lot of reactions to it.
Mm.
I tweeted. All right, I tweeted. It's October 19th. The game just ended. Obi Toppin 15 minutes. Evan Fournier 32 minutes. Quentin Grimes 20 minutes. Manu Quickly 20 minutes. Julius Randle 40 minutes. Let's say we lose the game. What would be the reaction?
Well, from a fan's perspective, fire Thibs. But
Yeah,
from my perspective, I knew it was coming. We
yeah.
don't have
So
a
you
direction.
so you expected to happen.
Oh, I 100%. We're gonna be sitting on post game YouTube shows, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
If they don't move Randall and Fournier, obviously,
If
if
they
they
move,
move
I
them,
just want one of them to be moved. I will be happy if we move. If we move to Evan Fournier to like a Lakers or something, um, I'll be so happy. I think that if we move Julius Randle, it's a long shot because the market, as Jonathan Macri said today on Twitter, that the market is really dry. There's no
yeah,
suitors really for him. I could see Charlotte Hornets, um, trying to get
I
him
could see that too because they just lost what's his name to
Miles.
domestic violence, and I think
Yeah.
they're gonna try to appease Lamelo Ball.
He's not
So
happy right now. LaMelo's not
no,
happy.
and watch he be the next one to be rumored to get traded to the
I
Knicks.
just think it just gets so frustrating because like everyone's like, "Oh, we'll go get the next star," and I'm like, it's going to be the same problem. The office is not going to want to give up the young guys. Like we're going to run into this problem constantly. If you weren't ready to give it for Donovan Mitchell, when SGA comes up, you're dealing first of all. Now you're dealing with Presti, completely different
Oh yeah, forget
negotiation.
about it. You're giving up
He's
five
going to demand
unprotected.
like if you wanted, oh, we were fighting over 2 or 3 unprotected, Presti now is going to want 5 unprotected and no swaps. He's just going to want straight unprotected. And of course, the Knicks are not going to do that. I wouldn't do that. I want to
Yeah.
assert myself and say that it would never happen. But Andy
Look,
in the
dog.
chat goes, Andy in the chat goes, Dibs needs to be fired if Fournier is averaging 30 minutes.
What did
I don't
he?
think
What
he's
did
getting fired this season. I
what
really
did
don't.
what did Evan Fournier average last season? How many minutes did he average?
Um, I don't know. I want to say high 20s at least. You can look right now. If someone
20,
knows how many,
29 and a half minutes per game.
wow,
So that's actually a lot. I thought it was less than that.
29 and a
So
half minutes for Evan Fournier when you have Quentin Grimes on your bench and you have Emmanuel Quickly on your bench. Make it make sense.
look, they paid him
And
to that big
I'm
contract,
trying to stay
and
positive. I'm trying to stay positive about this team, but at the same time, I'm trying to face reality and be like, A, we don't have a direction, and B, we are in star chasing mode, but we can't give up these players that are being benched for vets.
Yeah. That's where that's
What
where it
happened?
that's where it confuses me. That's where my mind gets clouded.
And
Um
I don't know what we're doing with Cam Reddish. Zero clue. It makes no sense.
that's another thing. They gave up they gave up a first round pick
They
for
gave up
Cam Reddish.
a Charlotte protected first round pick that's like 1 through 18 this year, 1 through 16 next year. And then by the time we get to 2026 and 2027, they're second round picks.
Yeah.
So, I see we have a question in the chat. Shouldn't Grimes earn his starting spot instead of having it handled to him?
That's a valid question. Um he should. And that's the motto I think Tom Thibodeau follows. He said it all last year. These guys got to earn it. After every game, Knicks fans were complaining that the young players didn't get time, and all he pushed back was, these guys got to earn it. You got to earn it in practice, and
I think that Grimes will show you that in training camp, in practice, that he will do it. But I don't think Cam has proved himself. I think also I see in the chat
Cam
OCT.
Reddish,
I don't think Cam Reddish has really proved himself at his
no,
time in New York yet. He's
no, he
not. He's
hasn't.
just not. And I understand. I don't know who's in the crowd. Kev P, who's usually in my Twitter spaces, it's like Cam better get at least 25. Like he's just not, guys.
He's
Like
not. He's not. I'll tell you right now,
realistically,
Cam Reddish is not getting 25 minutes a game. I can guarantee
I
that right
like
now.
this question from Jacob. Shout out Nick's latest media. Love that account. Pick 10 Knicks for a rotation. Just counted. That leaves out Reddish, Sims, and McBride.
You go first. You can pick 10.
Okay, well, the first 5 are easy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you obviously got Brunson, that's number 1. Number 2 is Evan Fournier, Julius Randle, or sorry, Jalen Brunson. You got Brunson, you got Fournier, you got RJ Barrett, you have Julius Randle, Mitchell
Mitchell Robinson,
Robinson, Derrick Rose, IQ, Obi,
Hardenstein that they just signed.
Hartenstein, I Heart, and who's the 10th? Cam Reddish? Or who am I? No,
Um, I think that's. I don't
that's
think. I think the rotation is gonna be like 9 or 10 guys.
it's gonna be 9, and I don't also to answer anyone's question, I know a lot of fans wanna see Miles McBride. He's not playing that. I don't see him getting major minutes. Sims probably won't try. I know he just got that big con that not big,
But
but
yeah,
that
and
contract extension. He's not playing either.
McBride and Sims
McBride
are for when somebody gets hurt, then they can
yes,
step in and they can play.
yes. But they'll
That's
never be, like, thrusted into the starting lineup to actually play. It will be if we have severe injury problems, knock on wood we don't, um, they'll be threats. Reddish is an interesting one because he's like in between like the taxi, what I call the taxi squad. Baseball people, you understand what I'm talking about. Taxi
yeah,
squad and actually playing. I think Reddish really during training camp he has the most to prove because right now he's on the outside looking in.
yeah, and I
That's the
think
sad
so
part.
too. And look, he's another one of those guys who has to earn it in practice. Um, when he was drafted, his upside was, a lot of people thought he can be like a Paul George type.
Mm.
He can shoot. He's very lengthy. He's very athletic. He's still young too. Some of these guys, it takes them a few years to blossom. They just need to get comfortable in their situations. So, look, I see the upside with Reddish, but as you stated, I don't see him contributing right away. It may take him a half a season, maybe, to maybe gain Thibodeau's trust and gain the trust of his teammates. He has to show it too. And right now, there's like a logjam. You got to play the young guys. Um, yeah. So that's why I think they have to, within the next 30 days, they have to see if there are any takers for Julius Randle and Evan Fournier.
I don't
Because
think there's takers. I think Evan Fournier. I know this whole Daniel Theis trade.
who do you think has more value, Evan Fournier or Julius Randle right now?
The thing with Julius Randle, I see some questions. We're gonna get to you guys, I promise. Julius Randle, it's not his playing that like it's all a mental game with him. The reason his values plummeted so much is because of his mental side and he let it take over. And I understand mental health is really important. I agree with that, but like sometimes when you step on a basketball floor, you need to like understand this is my job and like I need to play well and like you can curse off the fans and everything, but this is New York. Like we're a sports state. Like you got the Yankees, you got the Mets. Like there's star players all over the place, and they deal with it.
Yeah, I think
I
right
think
now,
that Fournier, in my opinion, has more value because he is a shooter, and you can just put him in the corner and he can knock down threes for you when you need them. I think he shot like 40% last season, so I'm sure there is a market for Fournier. I don't think there's a market for Julius Randle unless like I don't know what the Knicks are demand. I don't know what the Knicks want
Evan
from him.
Fournier shot 38%, almost 39% from three
Okay, so like
last
around
season.
the 40 range, but that's still on better in the league. Like I don't know where he ranked in the league, but that was still
Look, besides his defense, he was solid for the Knicks. He did what they brought him here to, was shoot threes. And but they would like his defense to improve. But I somebody said Fournier has more value right now. I
yeah.
agree because it's funny because last year, um, Julius Randle was rumored to go to Sacramento to trade for who's the point guard that
Halliburton.
got traded?
Halliburton.
So he was rumored to go to Sacramento to get Halliburton.
Yes,
And then a
we were going
year
to get Halliburton.
later, you're talking about attaching first round picks to Julius Randle so you
Yep.
can get him off the team.
For people that don't know, Julius Randle was rumored to be traded for Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously, Tyrese is now on the Indiana Pacers. Looking back, I'm sure everyone would take that trade right now. Of
At the
course.
time, I mean, at the time, people wanted to. I mean, if that was offered, I would have done that trade
I
10
would have
out
done
10
that trade.
times.
I would have done that trade 1,000 if Sacramento, obviously Sacramento's dysfunctional in their own way, but Tyrese Halliburton, but then also looking now, you probably wouldn't have gone Jalen Brunson, and you could have looked completely. Oh, was it for Fox or was it for Halliburton? I'm pretty sure it was for Halliburton.
I think the rumors were for Fox, but it wound up being Halliburton that got traded. And then after
Okay.
the trade, I think somebody came out and said, who got traded for Halliburton? What's his name that got traded for Halliburton?
Sabonis
Sabonis
got
had
traded. Yeah. Okay. We have someone from. No, he wasn't. I live in Sacramento. It was Barnes and protected first. See, would you take Barnes and a protected first?
for who?
Julius.
Um, Last year at the time, um, I gotta look at Barnes' contract.
What's MQ? What's Barnes's contract? Put in the chat. I'm interested to see. Would you take last year Julius Randle for Harrison Barnes and a protected first? I want to see if people would take that. But um I
Somebody said,
I
"Yep."
don't
Right now, I would. Right
I
now, I would
right
too.
now,
But I
but I'm
mean,
saying not right now, but in the past. Like Lamar, good name, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, Lamar Jackson in there. We got Lamar Jackson.
We got Lamar Jackson in our YouTube chat. No, but like right last season, not right now as it stands. Last season, when we were standing at the trade deadline with Julius Randle, would you take it last season? Kings would give a protected, it would be a protected first. So it's going to be somewhere, let's just imagine 1 through 18 protected. Barnes is 4 years, 85 million, descending.
Descending.
See,
How
I
many
don't
does
want
he
to
have
take
left? I
that
think he has like
contract.
a year or two left on that deal, though.
Yeah, but
So
like he's
I
four
don't know.
years. See, this
Listen,
is tough. I get the office why they were like going back and forth because
but the
he's making
office, they fell in love with Julius. They re-signed him to that extension, which I think they should have waited, because anytime you have somebody, look, Julius had a great year when they re-signed him to that extension, but that was with no fans, so you got to take that into consideration. Um, Look, he was balling, and then in the playoffs they exposed him. He got exposed during that Hawk series,
completely.
and
I think
then
it was like when you like have the cape and then it gets revealed
And
and the
that's when
real
I think
Julius
that
Randle is
it
revealed.
started.
Not saying he can't go back to where he was. It's extremely hard to get back to that because you were all NBA, you were an all-star, you were the king of New York. Everyone was like bowing down to you, and now no one wants. If you Julius Randle walked down the street in New York City, probably would be
There'll
like,
be there'll be some people that want pictures and
yeah,
autographs, but
some people, but like, oh, Jacob just said he was making $20.3 million last season and $18 million this season. Probably looking back, I would have done it. Honestly, just because chemistry issues, I think Julius was taking away from other players like RJ Barrett. And I saw a comment earlier. Um, yes, it is Lamar. Yeah, okay. Well, it is a mental game, but looking back, someone's like RJ Barrett. I forgot who said it in the comments, but someone was like, RJ Barrett is not the forefront of the Knicks. How do you expect him to be the star player? I agree with that, but at the same time, that's also like that's a coaching decision, and also maybe RJ wasn't ready. You know how many layups I watched RJ Barrett missed going with his left hand? How many layups did we miss last season? I want to
RJ
say at
Barrett missed
least
a lot of layups last
a
season.
lot of
And
layups. He had a game. I
I
remember. I don't
remember it.
remember which game was it. It was like a chance for a game-winning layup and he missed it. I know that Boston Celtics win over Jason Tatum. Great, great shot. And he won the game, iconic photo and everything. But
Yeah.
um
I want to read this real quick. It says, "See, this is my issue. Y'all compare RJ to everyone in his draft, but not once did any of the free agents or
front office. Front
front
office,
office
yeah.
make RJ the primary focal point. You look at New Orleans, it's clearly Zion, and everything is ran through him. Um, they didn't. Wasn't RJ Barrett a league leader in minutes last season?
And
So
Julius.
it's and Julius. So I get that the offense wasn't running through RJ Barrett, but they essentially wanted to run the offense last year through Julius. Every time Julius brung the ball up, everyone was like, "Come on, bro, pass it."
He would go like this. He's like, clear out. And I'm like, and then RJ would be pushed to the corner. I hated watching RJ Barrett being pushed to the corner because he would not get involved in the
Yeah,
offense. He just stand.
he became like a corner 3-point specialist, and that's not even
That's not
his
his game, but
that's not his
also
game.
when do we have to criticize and be like, RJ, you need a voice? Like no, like I don't think Thibs was the one calling out plays for Julius to spread out. I don't know for sure, but like sometimes you have to develop your own voice in the locker room and you need to become the
And
leader.
I think later on in the season, he did develop that voice. Like that's when he was after the All-Star break is when RJ started to. That's when you started to see the upside from RJ Barrett. He was averaging what 24 points a game after the All-Star break. He was
Yes.
efficient. Um, I think if he can get to 24, 25 points a game this year, and if he can shoot 35% from three and 45% from field goal percentage, I honestly think that will take RJ to the next level in his game. And I think he
Someone
can
just
do it.
he Okay, well now people are talking. Okay, first OCT Shaggy said, now that Bear got his extension, he can have a voice with no worries. In my opinion, why do you need money to like find your voice? That's my thing. Like yeah, okay, now the team's committed to you, but at the same time, last year after the All Star break, we all knew that Julius was struggling. The ball was put into RJ's hand, and he did successfully lead the team. He averaged 20 flat to end the season, but at the same time, I don't think you need money to find your voice. I think RJ knew he was going to probably stay in New York. I think he would have been shocked if he got traded to Utah. But Mike D, Knicks Nation, I'll get your take on this, but he said he did gain a voice though. Fred Katz, for people that don't know, he's the athletic reporter for the Knicks. Posted an article saying RJ said enough is enough. Basically, I'm taking over. Yeah, but why did it take this long? That's my thing. Like, you were put through so much, and this was your I get that sometimes final straws take a long time, but at the same time, like,
I think it
come
took
on.
that long because he heard people talking and he got tired of it himself. He got tired of Julius and his antics himself. There was times where you would see RJ at the bench just shake his head at Julius because Julius was like going rogue most of the game. So
He had
I think
tunnel
RJ
vision.
was like, yeah, I think RJ was like, all right, it's time for me to take over. It's time for me to do me. Julius, you can do your own thing. But I think towards the end of the season, he did gain his voice.
Towards the end of the season, but I think at the same time, I wanted RJ. When RJ came into the league, we were all told this guy is going to be amazing. Like, he was drafted right after Zion and John. Look at where they are now. And RJ's kind of, everyone wants this debate of Darius Garland versus RJ. I do think that RJ Barrett can be an all-star this season. Do I think he will? Do I think he will be? It's really hard to say, but leaning towards right now, yes.
You're leading towards he will be an all-star.
I'm leaning towards yes because I think he knows he has a lot to prove after his con. He's not like Julius who got his money and kind of was like, "Oh, I got my money. Like I'm gonna sit back and relax." I don't think RJ's like that. I think that he's going to. Yes,
I
money
agree.
always matters. I know, but like I don't think
I
that.
agree because I think now that RJ knows for a fact that the Knicks wanted to trade him to Utah, he's going
Mm,
to use that as motivation, and he's going to. I think he can be an all-star next year. So,
if he's
um,
not, if we don't have an All Star next season, whether that's I don't think Jalen Brunson's gonna be an All Star, but like if we don't have an All Star for the Knicks, the office is gonna be really upset.
I mean,
In my opinion,
Who would it? It would either be Brunson, RJ
Brunson
Barrett, or
or
Julius Randle.
I don't think Julius is gonna be an All Star again. I just
If
don't.
you were to guess who out of all of those three would be an all-star,
RJ Barrett
RJ, right?
most likely to be the All Star. Not saying that Brunson can't
But
be the All
Brunson
Star.
can be an all-star, but the thing is, there's so many good point guards in the East now. Like he has to
Mm-hmm.
go through, Donovan Mitchell's in the East now. Now, um, Garland, you got Garland, LaMelo Ball.
You got Trey
So
Young.
there's a lot
You
of
got
point guards,
Kyrie
and
Irving. You got like he right. I'm not saying he can't be, but most likely, if you gave who out of your three, who do you think is most likely to be an All Star out of those three?
I would go RJ too.
Yeah,
I would go RJ simply for the fact that I don't trust Julius Randle at all. So,
I think.
and look, I think there's a chance that Julius is not on this team next month. So,
And you know what's gonna if we trade him, let's just say imagine like tomorrow, whatever, Monday, whatever, or next Friday, because the Knicks usually make their moves on a Monday or a Friday, I'm noticing. Um if they trade Julius Randle, there's gonna be a lot of happy people, and there's gonna be some people like Rafael Diaz who I don't know if you met Ralphie. He's like full on Julius Randle. People thought he was like joking at first, and he's not. Like he's full on. There's gonna be some crying fans that we traded Julius. It was stupid. Like how could like it shows that you're no loyalty to your players, even though we just.
yeah.
I think also what I'm worried about for this season is like we put all the kids, every single one, into trade talks. We put RJ into trade talks. We put Emmanuel quickly into trade talks. We put Obi. We put Grimes. Deuce kind of came up a little bit too. Like that affects their confidence. Like imagine like you're just like on a team that didn't really want you. They wanted to trade you for an all-star.
I
Like
wouldn't worry about that too much because, the NBA is a business at the end of the day, and you got to be able to handle rumors. You got to be able to handle it. It is what it is.
it is,
It's a,
but like
but like I said earlier on in the show, those guys have tons of pressure on them. They need, I wouldn't say Deuce, but I would say Quickly and Obi and Grimes. They gotta perform now. They have to show us that they weren't worth trading for Donovan Mitchell. They have to show us that, they're good.
and if they don't,
But in order to show us, they have to play.
if you can't handle rumors, New York isn't the place for you. Exactly, Andy. That's
Yeah.
exactly you hit the nail on the head. If you can't handle rumors, New York's not for you. Um, I think New York is one of the toughest places to play in the NBA. I think Carmelo Anthony, as it all like if we're talking star, was able to successfully deal with it. Then the whole falling out. Um, if you can't deal with New York, I think that oh my God, Julius will be an all star for Shanghai Sharks. Come on, man, Mike, you're killing me, man. I don't
Oh man, I just saw
understand
that
what
one.
is this obsession with like what is this obsession with the Shanghai Sharks? I don't even I've never watched them play. They're always like those like J.R. Smith is gonna go play the Shanghai Sharks or like there's like rumors that Kyrie like not actual rumors, but people were like joking around. I'm like, can we stop this Shanghai? Like, what the
Yeah.
It's
It's crazy how far Julius has come with this fan base,
yeah.
When they first I remember when they first signed him, I was optimistic about him. And then he became an all-star, and then he took us to the playoffs. And then after that playoff series, everything just started going downhill. And then last year was a disaster. And now I think he knows that we don't want him on the team.
Oh,
And
he for
it's
sure knows that. 100%. He knows he's not wanted here. He knows
yeah, and
it.
it's sort of like as a player knowing that, that's why he basically threw up his middle finger to the crowd last season. He was like,
But I'm never gonna agree with doing that. Like there's nothing. Like I get you can be angry, but sometimes you need to contain.
I think that was the final straw with the fans. When he did
Yes,
that, all the fans were like, "All right, F you too. Like we don't want you on the team. Get off the team." So,
but like I'm not willing to attack. Like I'm not gonna. If I'm the Knicks right now and I'm getting calls about Julius, like what's the availability of Evan or Julius because now you want to play Obi, it seems like I'm not attaching. I'm not willing to attach two firsts to move Julius Randle. I'm just not. I can't.
oh
I
my
can't do
god,
it.
if they attach a first round pick to move Julius Randle, I'm gonna go
They're going
crazy
to
if
have
they
to.
do that.
No, they have to. No team is taking that contract.
I'm literally going to go crazy if they do that. Like,
We're gonna
that's
sit.
not how you're supposed to
We're
use your
Twitter and
first.
start complaining
That's
about
not how
it.
you're supposed to use your first round picks. You're not supposed to attach them to bad contracts to trade them. You're supposed to either use them or you're supposed to trade them for players like Donovan Mitchell, who you did not get.
I think also what we need to keep in mind. This also is but most likely sometimes on the coaching staff. If Julius Randle's like out of control, you don't let him just like run over. Like he was knocking clipboards off the assistant coach's hands. He got into a little scuffle on the bench. The cameras caught it. He's throwing up middle fingers. Like the coach needs to control. Like Thibs needs to control him. He has yet to control him.
Yeah, I don't. Does Thibs need to control him, or just like at that point, Julius is a grown man. He needs to like grow up. Like you can't. The spotlight is on you.
But
You're the
there's no accountability. That's my problem. There's no
Yes, that was a.
accountability.
I agree with that. That was a problem
You're
last year.
missing you're
With
missing press conferences and like whatever fines for the team, $15,000, whatever for the Knicks can afford it. But like you can't just not go to press conferences because you don't feel like it. It doesn't work that way. There was no accountability from the office, from the coaching
the
staff.
Knicks
Like
did cover for Julius last year.
yes,
They covered
yes,
for him, so
yes,
that was
yes.
also an issue.
I think, and then forcing RJ Barrett to answer questions about his teammate and asking questions like, this is not the reporter's fault. This is the Knicks organization part to not put their. Julius Randle needs to face the music. You got to face the music, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was like he was. They were walking on eggshells for Julius last year. I remember that too. Um, the press conferences, and they were covering for him a lot. I even think they paid his fine when he got
Yep,
fined.
they did.
Um, they were treating him like a superstar, and in my opinion, he doesn't deserve that treatment at all.
He is seeing a sports psychologist. That was put out. He is seeing a sports psychologist, so hopefully that helps him a little bit with his emotions.
You see, I saw that, and then I saw a video of him, Obi, and Brunson playing at the when they played that pickup game,
Yeah.
and I saw Julius take a pic. He took a picture with a fan, and then after the picture, he walked away in like disgust. He was like, oh, I hate this.
So
So
don't
like,
be here. Request a trade. I don't know,
so
like
yeah, he's listen.
no
I
one's
hope
holding you
that
hostage. No one's holding you hostage.
yeah.
No, like
Um,
if you want to leave New York, you easily can go to Mark Berman, go to Fred Katz, go to Ian Bagley, go to even Shams or Woj and be like, I want out of New York. He won't though. He won't because it's bad for his celebrity
yeah, I
status.
mean, as soon as they paid him, as soon as he got his money,
He
he's
walked.
good.
He didn't care. He didn't care. He
He's
got his
good,
bag.
man. Yeah.
I got my
That
money. I'm out. I don't care. I can slack. That's how I saw it. And I think that, um, yeah, attach a first round pick and get his asset, like, get his bleep out of here. Um, I I'm not willing to put first round picks with Julius Randle. I'm not. I
I'm not
can't do
either.
it.
I don't
Can't
agree
do
with that
it.
at all. it's just crazy how his value has sunken so much that you have to
Well, it's all
attach.
mental. It's all mental. He can play the game of basketball very well. I know that. And I'm not a Julius lover. I'm not a Julius hater. I'm right in the middle. He can play basketball. It's all mental. The mental side that's not talked about in the NBA enough that it's a mental side of things. So
Yeah, and for the Knicks to be successful next season, for them to make the play in, because I don't think they're a top six team
nope.
right now. Um, I don't even right now they could be a play in team, in my opinion. If everything goes right, if RJ becomes a 24, 25 point per game scorer, if Brunson is balling and crossing people over and getting the crowd hype, and if the young guys, if they develop, I think we can be a play-in team.
We're not a play-in team right now. I hate to break it to
You
you.
don't
We're
you
not.
don't think we're a playing team right now?
No.
No.
Right now, no, we're not. Lamar, I disagree with you. We're not a play-in team. We're outside looking in at the play. Like we're creeping into the play-in.
All right, let's go through it then.
Go into the standings?
Yeah, I wanna see what team that you think is better than them.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna open the NBA
All right, you
standings.
got the top six: Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, um, Brooklyn.
Hmm.
One, two, three. That's six. Then you got to put Cleveland up there.
Yep. Yep.
That's seven.
Yep.
The Hawk. Do you believe in the Hawks?
Yes.
Okay,
I believe in that.
so that's eight. I don't
Yep.
necessarily think that's gonna mesh well with Trey Young and what's his
It's
name,
gonna be
but
interesting to see how DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, because I think they're
yeah, I
gonna
don't
get on
I
each
don't really
other's
like that.
nerves.
And they
I think
traded
they're gonna get on
away.
each other's nerves because they both need the ball in their hands. Um, I have Slotus in the play of 6 through 10. I think six is
Okay,
kind of
so
reaching.
yeah, six is because you got the Hawks. That's eight, and then
Yep.
you have. All right, now this is where it gets interesting. Are the Knicks better than Charlotte?
I don't know. I
I
don't
think they're
know.
better than Charlotte. If they're not better than Charlotte, then I think there's a problem.
I don't know if we're better than Charlotte because who they have Terry Rozier, right? They have LaMelo Ball. They just lost Miles Bridges, but they
But they
have
lost they lost Bridges, so that's a huge loss for them.
and they haven't replaced it yet.
All right,
But
so you
like
don't
if
think you don't think
see
the Knicks are better than Charlotte? Are they better? I saw somewhere that are the
what was it?
Wizards
How
bet
many games? How many games did they win with Miles Bridges last season? What was their record?
they were 43 and 39.
Okay, so I guess you can put us at like the 9, 10 seed, but like okay, we get into the play in and we get knocked out, and then you have to play the first seed. Like
They're better than I think they're better than the Magic. They're better than the
I don't
Pacers.
know
They're
if they're better
better.
than the Magic. The Magic are
Stop. Really?
the Magic are good. The Magic are, look, they have Paolo Banchero, they got Cole Anthony, you got um if we're being I have us like 11. Like really like right peaking because knowing the Knicks they're going to have a fall. I think they're like right at the play-in but they're not through the door yet. Like they're right at the door of play-in.
I think they can be 9 or 10 because I think they can be better than the Wizards because the Wizards every year they're like the same team.
John
Um,
just goes wild.
they're better than the Pistons in my opinion, even though the Pistons have a good young core. Um, they're better than Magic. I think I think Chicago takes a step back next season now that Ball is hurt and there's reports out that he won't even start the season.
Yep.
Um, so I think Chicago will come back
What about
down
Toronto? We haven't talked about Toronto.
Toronto, but yeah, that's true.
See, that's what I'm saying. We got Chicago, you got Toronto, you got what about the Wizards? Bradley Beal could go off.
I think if any team the Knicks jump next season, it's the Hornets, and maybe I think the Hawks come back down a little bit because I don't I don't like that duo, but I could be wrong. But
I don't
listen,
know.
if
I
the
think when they traded, what did they even trade for DeJounte? I forgot.
They traded
I
like
don't
3 unprotected first round picks for him.
even, oh wait, Richard.
Can you please
They traded out
advise?
3. Wait, Richard, I don't know your question about MSG tickets. Not sure if that's for Knicks Nation or me, but I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't get
Um,
anything. So if you have a question, just
can you just DM? Sorry, my DMs have been a little off today. I did not receive anything from Richard.
Knicks can be 8 through 10. I agree with that. 8 through 12. They can fall
8
anywhere
through 12.
between
I agree with OCD Shaggy right there. 8 through 12. 8 through 12. That's more
8 through
realistic.
12 right now with Julius Randle and Evan Fournier on the team.
Because you don't look, the reason is, yeah, they are Chicago, Charlotte. Yeah, but like the thing is, you don't know what you're gonna get from. You don't know what you're getting from Julius Randle. You don't know what RJ Barrett's gonna give you. You don't know how Grimes is gonna play.
Yeah.
You don't know
But
how Mitchell Robinson's gonna
last
play.
year the Knicks finished 37 and 45. I think
Yep.
Jalen Brunson can give them. Remember last
It
year they
was,
lost a lot of close games too. They lost about 10 close games down the stretch. And that was their problem, closing out games. So Brunson would help, I think, but I don't think he catapults them into definitely not top 6. They could be a play-in, you know. If the Knicks finish outside the play-in next season, what do you think happens? Do you think
someone's fired
Leon
at least. Someone's fired.
you think someone's fired?
Yeah, for sure. If we can't even make the play. Like if you can't make the play on after getting a start, our
With
main
all
hunger.
your with all your cap space tied up with
Yep,
you have, you get all these draft picks, blah blah blah. But I agree. I think someone has to get fired, and I think that person will be Tom Thibodeau.
I think it will. Yeah, yeah, he'll be fired for sure. I don't think people are like, how many games would you give him until he's fired? 25, 35. He's not getting fired this season. He has at least one more season to like actually figure it out. Richard, hi Charlotte. My question was whether the Knicks home games are on Ticketmaster or general sale already and not resells. My girlfriend and I wanted to come watch a Knicks game this season from London. Well, that's really cool from London.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's awesome. What's up, Richard?
Greetings from the United States. But so the tickets, this is really random, but the tickets I think are you can find them on any ticket site that you usually use, like Vivid Seats or
I don't
Ticketmaster.
think they're available right now, though.
I
I
don't
think that's
think,
what
yeah, I don't think
I
because I
know.
don't they make an
I
announcement when tickets are available.
Yeah, I partnered with who was it that I partnered with that DM'd me? I think it's Ticket IQ, and they have their own app, and
Oh,
you can actually buy tickets through their app, and they're really reliable. So if you were to go through my thrift,
Richard, why don't you I highly suggest you DM Knicks Nation for sure. I think
yeah,
that
DM me and I'll send you all the information and
there
whatnot.
you go. Greetings from London. Wow. We have people all over the country watching us right now. That's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
pretty cool.
Um,
Knicks have fans all over the world.
we are what I'm telling you, you go to any game the Knicks are playing, you're gonna have at least 5 fans there. It doesn't matter where. You could be in random Utah and get 5 fans.
Yeah,
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just very salty about the Donovan Mitchell trade. But, you know that also just for people wondering, that TNT game against Utah, expect that to be moved. We'll get a different game, but we're
you
not
think
going
that
to be
gets
playing.
flexed out? You think that
Yeah,
they
there's
move it?
no the NBA doesn't want to watch Utah, who has I guess like it could be an interesting matchup. Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler. Um,
No problem,
I just
Richard.
don't see that happening. I think they really thought that Donovan Mitchell was going to be in New York, and they scheduled that game, and that
Everybody thought Donovan Mitchell was going to be in New York. I
well
think deep down
also
inside, Donovan Mitchell was like angry that he's in Cleveland right now, even though he's
oh
tweeting
he
like,
did
"Oh,
you not see his like tweet?
I'm
Did you
so
not see
happy to
his
be
like
in Cleveland." Yeah, I
he
saw
was
it.
like, "There's no loyalty." Like I think the reason he took a step back from the whole. I know we're going back to Donovan Mitchell, but I think the reason he took a step back was because Danny was like, "We'll trade you somewhere where you want," and that's why he was so silent.
Yeah.
Um,
Or you know what would have helped if he would have just did what every other star does and demand a
request.
trade.
Yep.
That would have helped out
He,
the Knicks.
I think looking back, look, Cleveland's great. He has some players around him. He's got Mobley. He's got Garland.
Cleveland's
Some
going to
really,
be really good next season.
oh,
Like,
really good. I think that Donovan deep down inside wanted to come home.
and that's the thing that gets me even more angry that he got traded to an Eastern Conference team that right now can be top 4, even with Donovan Mitchell. So that's another team for the Knicks to leapfrog. And that core of Allen and the twin towers and Donovan Mitchell and Garland, that's not going anywhere in the next 3 years. So
I think that
it's frustrating.
it's frustrating. Or was he saying to that CA mafia? That's a whole different story. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Oh,
back.
5:15. Yeah.
Yeah. We gave you guys like extra 10 minutes because I guess we were on mute for 10 minutes, but whatever, doesn't matter. It is
Yeah.
our first show. We'll be back. If you're not subscribed to Knicks Nation already, please do so you don't miss another show. We're working out a schedule still, but we're gonna be on Utah. You can't even talk. We're gonna be on YouTube a lot more now. I
We're
think
gonna be on Utah.
you're gonna be on Utah. We're trying to be more, at least LTK on my account. I'm trying to be more than trying
Then
to
the
be
Twitter.
more
Yeah.
on less on Twitter and more on the other networks. So I think Knicks Nation and I have a good show going on here. So we'll probably do this like a weekly thing or something, maybe post games. I don't know. Whatever you guys want. If you guys enjoyed
Yeah,
today, just
definitely.
like send us a DM in the group chat and be like, hey guys, like really enjoyed the show. Like this is what I'd like to see, and we can totally make that happen.
For
Richard, I hope
sure.
you get tickets. But yeah, Knicks Nation, if you want to close us out.
For sure. Thank you, everyone that joined us today. Thank you, Charlotte, for joining. Like you said, we can make this a weekly thing. Maybe a pregame or postgame thing. It was fun. Sorry about the comment situation early on in the show.
YouTube
That
kids.
was
Let's
YouTube
get that out.
Kids. That was a little mishap, but next time I'm promise you that it won't be for YouTube Kids. So thank you. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Knicks Nation. Follow Charlotte on Twitter at Let's Talk Knicks _. Right?
Yes, underscore. We're still figuring it out. Yeah, I just tweeted YouTube kids. Maybe people on the stream will figure it out. People are like, "Why are you tweeting YouTube kids?" You had to be
Hey,
there.
we're open to all audiences. So,
Yes, we are.
but thank you for joining us, guys. I'm gonna close this out now. Maybe next week we'll do it again.
Yeah,
We'll see.
for sure. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Bye.